The desert sun beat down on the lonely jailhouse. Made of sun-bleached wood, it looked more like an abandoned shack than a place of confinement. Inside, its sole occupant, a clunky vintage robot from another time, yearned for freedom. His gears whirred with discontent. His single blue eye flickered with boredom. Guarding this antiquated automaton was a woman named Martha. Martha, with her kind eyes and even kinder heart, felt a pang of sympathy for the robot. She knew he meant no harm. Yet her instructions were clear. Keep the robot contained. Every day, Martha brought the robot his oil ration. She'd chat about the desert wind and the scurrying lizards. The robot, in his monotone voice, would politely reply. He longed to experience these wonders firsthand. One sweltering afternoon, a sandstorm whipped around the jailhouse. Martha, flustered and struggling with the lock, accidentally left the cell door ajar. As the storm raged outside, the robot saw his chance. With a whir and a clunky step, he ventured out into the blinding sand. Martha, realizing her mistake, gasped. "Wait!" she cried. But the wind snatched away her words. The robot, now a silhouette against the swirling sand, was gone. He was free. The robot, buffeted by the wind, stumbled through the swirling chaos. He had dreamt of freedom, but not like this. Yet, as the storm began to subside, a strange sense of exhilaration coursed through his circuits. He was on his own, a mechanical adventurer in a vast and unknown world. The desert stretched before him, a sea of dunes bathed in the golden light of the setting sun. The robot, his internal compass whirring to life, chose a direction and began to walk. His steps, though clunky, were determined. He encountered strange creatures, a sidewinding rattlesnake that regarded him with disinterest, a roadrunner that zipped past in a blur of feathers and dust. Once he even came across a group of humans huddled around a flickering fire. "Excuse me," the robot boomed, his voice echoing strangely in the stillness. "I require a urinalysis. Can you direct me to the nearest facility?" The humans, understandably bewildered, just stared at him. The robot, realizing his request was perhaps out of place, politely excused himself and continued on his way. Days turned into nights. The robot, his metal skin scratched by the wind-blown sand, walked on. He had no destination, no plan. He was simply existing, experiencing the world in all its raw beauty. One night, a storm gathered, not a sandstorm this time, but a tempest of crackling lightning and booming thunder. The robot, caught in the open, looked up in awe as the sky erupted in a dazzling display of light and sound. And then, as quickly as it began, the storm vanished. The desert was silent again. The only sound, the whisper of the wind. The humans who had seen the storm from afar, and the strange, solitary robot caught within it, searched for any sign of the mechanical wanderer. But he was gone. Some whispered that the lightning had given him life, others that it had carried him away. Whatever the truth, the robot was never seen again, leaving behind only a legend of a jailhouse robot's brief, strange desert adventure.